Rules to live by. Hi, I'm Dr. Alice Rizzi. I'm a licensed psychologist and a mindful embodiment coach. And today I thought I would share some rules that I live by. They might not work for everyone. Maybe you have heard of some of them. Maybe they're totally new to you. But these are rules that I generally live by that make my life happy, joyful, peaceful, that make me content moment to moment, that help me be present, that ground me. And so I had this thought today that maybe they can help somebody else too. So let's get started. So, nothing that's meant for me will miss me. And the same is true for you. Whatever is meant for you will not miss you. This is a really hard one to sit with because so many of us want something now. We want what we want when we want it. I think that's another pretty much rule of life that's universal. Like, if you want a car right now, you want it right now. You don't want a car 5 years from now, you want a car now. Or if you want to buy a new home, you want the new home now. You might logically understand that there are certain things you have to do before you can get it, but the desire is there now. And so this is why this one can be so hard to sit with, because it requires faith and trust that essentially when the timing is right, you will get the thing that you want. But I think a lot of people also misunderstand this idea about timing. It's not some specific magical time that you have to reach or you have to work hard for or that you have to earn or deserve and then you get it. In my mind, it's more about when the timing is right for you, whatever that means, is when that thing will find you. That's when you will get it or have it or be able to take that action to get the outcome that you want. And I think this is also what a lot of people misunderstand about the law of attraction or manifestation in general. People think, oh, I just wish for it, I hope for it, or I just write it down and then I get it. I wrote like myself $1 million check. Why don't I have $1 million? And it's sort of like, well, what have you done? What action steps have you taken? What choices have you made to get that money? To receive that thing that you say that you want. It's the same thing. Like, you can't just wish for a car and then the next day you will have it. Steps need to be taken. Money needs to be saved or reallocated. You need to go down to the lot and pick one out. It has to be delivered, whatever the process is. With a mortgage on a house, it's even more complicated than that, right? So you can't just passively wish for something and be surprised when the world doesn't deliver it to you. So, pulling back a little bit, nothing that's meant for you will miss you means that the things that you really want, that you are actively working towards, that you are taking actions and making choices towards, will lead you where you want to go in the right timing for you. So keep doing what you are doing, keep making values based choices, and you will get the outcome that you want, or you will realize that you want something else. But ultimately, the timing will always be right for you. And this leads me into another rule that I live by, which is that you're always on time for your own life. Many clients tell me that they often feel like they're behind in life. I hear this a lot from single women in particular who tell me about their friends and their family members who are dating or engaged or getting married or having children or even getting divorced for the second time, whatever the case might be. And so they feel behind in life. But there's really no sense in comparing yourself to other people in this way because they're on a different life journey. The things that are meant for them are meant for them. And every choice that they make brings them closer or farther away from the thing that they want. Just as every choice that you make brings you closer or farther away from the thing that you want. And this is why I'm such a big advocate of mindfulness, because the more mindful you are in the present moment, the more you can make choices that align with the kind of person that you want to be. Meaning you do the thing that gets you the thing that you want. If you want a car, you start saving the money for that car. If you want a house, you start browsing realty setting websites and apps and maybe working with a realtor, right? Otherwise, it's just passive, hopeful wishing and thinking. So if there is something that you want, you will get it as long as you take the actions for it in a values based way. They will not miss you, right? According to this first rule that we talked about, and you will be exactly on time. So think about how many stories there are of people that meet like the love of their lives when they're 60 or 70 years old, or people who start their second, third, even fourth careers after midlife, right? It is never too late to do the thing that makes you happy in life. And I also don't believe that it's true that there's only one thing that can possibly make you happy in life. There's a lot of things that might bring joy and satisfaction and fulfillment. And so that's also why I don't necessarily believe that there's such a thing as regret in a sense. Similarly, like there's no such thing as making a mistake. Like sometimes people might say, oh, I went to med school or law school or whatever, and it didn't work out. And so now I'm doing such and such. That was a mistake, or that was a regret that I have. Or I dated such and such loser, and that was a mistake. It delayed me from meeting my now husband, or whatever it is. I don't personally believe that there is such a thing as mistakes or that it makes sense to have those types of regrets. Sorry, I was just reading something that came up on my phone, even though it's on focus mode. ADHD life. But yeah, and this is a really important lesson. So excuse the distraction. Pay attention to this. Write it down if you need to. There is no such thing as a mistake because we label something as a mistake only after the fact. Take a second to process that. Nobody sets the intention of, I'm going to make a mistake. Everybody proceeds with their best intentions to get what they want. And when they don't get the outcome that they want, or when there are negative consequences, or when they experience judgment from other people, or just whatever, they don't like what they got, that's when they say, oh, I made a mistake. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. And that's why some people might have regrets. They regret making certain choices that led to certain outcomes. But the thing is, if you knew that that choice was going to lead to that outcome, which was going to make you unhappy, of course you would not have done that. None of us are consciously trying to sabotage ourselves, right? Most, if not all, self sabotage happens on a subconscious or unconscious level because we want to experience pleasure. We want to avoid pain. So anytime we do experience pain or suffering, it's unintentional. We don't want it, but it's there. And anytime we feel happy, right? Like that's what we wanted. So of course, we're not going to regret the choice that led to us being happy. But we can't always know that in advance. So this might be a little mini lesson on having self-compassion for your past self that made that choice, that thought it was the right choice, and your present day self that has to face the consequences, positive or negative. You can have compassion for every version of you that was doing her best. And that's something else that I believe is that any one of us at any moment in time is doing the best that we can with the resources that we have. That doesn't mean that we're always giving our 100% in any situation. But it means that any situation that we face, we're doing the best that we can in that moment, given the resources that we have. Sometimes our resources are depleted. Sometimes we don't have the right resources to do something. So we can only ever do something to our capacity in that moment, to our skill set in that moment, to our other resources, our energy level, our finances, our social circumstances, our socioeconomic status in that moment. Whatever it is, I believe that you're doing your best with what you have. And so, therefore, you deserve compassion and you deserve to give yourself self compassion. And this is also where you can practice giving other people grace as well. Not as an excuse, especially if people have severely wronged you. We're not excusing behavior, but we are understanding that most people are not malintentioned. Most people are not trying to outwardly hurt or harm you. Of course, yes, there's exceptions to that. We've all experienced that to some extent, some more severely than others. So we're not forgiving hurtful or harmful behavior. But for the subset of the population that is genuinely just trying to be a human every day, that's who we can extend our genuine grace and compassion for, the same way that we might hope that they would do for us. So I'm just looking over my notes. Oh, yeah. So another rule that I live by is that joy, happiness, and fun are essential to life. If the life you're living isn't fun, if you don't experience joy and happiness, then what's the point? Now, I'm not saying that you need to be happy all of the time, 100% of the time, and that if you have a bad day or something doesn't go your way, that your life is ruined. No, that's black and white thinking. We don't want to do that. But I'm just saying that when I evaluate what decision do I want to make, what decision will make me happier, that's what I am taking into consideration. What will make my life more fun, more easeful, more joyful, more satisfying? And I am the type of person who will even think, like, when I'm 80 years old, will I wish I had done such and such? Will I care that I did X, Y, Z? And if I don't think I'm going to care about X, Y, Z, then I'm going to reconsider now if I should even bother doing it. And if I know I will be really happy with myself, really grateful that I did do something, I'm going to put more of an effort to do it now. So that's actually a really effective motivational strategy when you just don't feel like doing something. Thinking ahead a little bit. Is future you going to thank present day you for doing that thing, for taking that action? And especially for anybody listening who is an entrepreneur or a business owner or has really high expectations for themselves and their career, I really want you to consider this. I know for me, it's something that drives me to keep going, to keep showing up, to encourage myself out of my comfort zone. That is something that I know future me will thank me, because that is how I get to live by my values and what's important to me. I love making an impact, being of service, being helpful, connecting people with the resources that they need so that you could live your best life, whatever that means to you, so that you could experience happiness and joy and satisfaction. So I will ask myself, like, if I don't take a certain action, will I be living according to my values? Will I regret that decision later? And when I say regret in this instance, what I mean is, will I have just wished that I took this action that maybe I didn't take out of fear? Because so much of avoidance and procrastination and postponing things is because we're afraid. We're afraid of a negative outcome. And so we don't do the thing that I think at our core we know is going to make us happy, is going to bring us joy, ease, freedom. So I try to remember those things when something is hard for me and when I'm thinking, oh, I just don't feel like it right now. And the same might apply, in your personal life as well. If you're trying to make healthier choices for your mind, for your body, for your physical health, for your emotional health, maybe I don't feel like it right now, but future me will thank me for it. And finally, be curious. Curiosity is a personality trait that I used to have a love hate relationship with, at times, hate, hate. But now I love that about myself. And I've actually come to appreciate that not everybody is as curious as I am. Not everybody knows how to be curious or what the benefits of curiosity are. But I want you to do a little experiment in your life. Intentionally practice curiosity with a loved one. Ask them questions about themselves, about their hopes, about their dreams, about their goals, about their relationships, about themselves, and notice how they react when you ask them those questions. Maybe not everybody appreciates it. This is why you have to discern a little bit who you're having this conversation with. Some people might think you're intruding on them or you're breaking their privacy or whatever, right? So that's the only kind of caveat here. But what I have found in my therapy practice, in my coaching business, is that people love talking about themselves and people love feeling important. They love feeling heard and understood. And the more questions you ask them and try to understand what their genuine experience is like as a person, the closer they're going to feel to you, the more emotionally connected they're going to feel to you. So for me, curiosity is something that really helps me connect with other people. I love asking questions. I love getting to know other people. And I love when people ask me questions. So that's all the life rules I've written down for now. I wrote these down purely for this video. I don't necessarily carry these around or think about them every day, but I wanted to compile a genuine list of life principles that I find help me in my day-to-day life, in how I show up in the world, and the kinds of choices and decisions that I make, and how I run my businesses, and how I treat myself and other people. And so I hope that you found this helpful too. If you have any questions, feel free to ask below, leave your comments. Tell me if there's any life rules that you live by that you think other people might find beneficial or that you just do. That's okay too. And I'll talk to you soon.